If you missed it, listen.
The positions were only created so a novice could follow the game. Just because you're a power forward, that doesn't make you physical. Just because you're a shooting guard, that don't mean you can jack up threes. That's
What were you, Jalen? What were you?
What were you? Did you average 1.4 points as a senior in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so all of that Pistol Pete stuff, water Pistol Pete Jr.
Okay, we'll address that later. We're going to.
Don't ignore that. Did you play junior?
Yeah.
Did you play JV as a junior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll follow
you. What were you?
Okay.
What were you? What was your position?
I had no position.
You were a point guard.
I have no game.
You were a point guard. Am I right?
All right, look, we're a debate show, and that means we take on hot topics. We run from nothing, and we want to dive into this. It took on a life of its own yesterday on the internet. We have only one rule here, and that is authenticity. We need to make sure that the viewers at home realize when they turn on the TV, what they're seeing is genuine. And what happened yesterday happened organically, and it is out there. Jalen's back. No one's told you what to say. We have no idea where you're going with this. But what we want to do is after you look at that, what's your reaction? Do you still stand by the way you approach that?
We're a debate show.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, we're not a reality show. And it's up to us to say what's in our head, say what's in our heart as it relates to topics. What normally happens when you debate, whether you're at a barbershop or whether you're on ESPN First Take, sometimes the debate can get personal based on the person's tone. So if I hear somebody saying something negative about me to attack my credibility as a person and as a player, something that I invested 20 years in playing middle school, high school, college, pro. I'm invested in this. Like, my father was the #1 pick, God rest his soul, in the 1967 draft. Like, I dedicated my life to basketball. So if I feel like somebody wants to cross the line and challenge how I feel about the game, I study this, I do this, I took it personal. And that's what happened yesterday in our debate. I did take it personal, and I'm pretty sure he took it personal how I responded. It was a trending topic on Twitter. A lot of people were talking about it.
It was hot.
And, but as we mentioned, this isn't the Maury Povich show. I'm not an actor. I wasn't, I don't have a hand up my back of somebody telling me what to say. And we just went there.
Yeah. You and I talked about this after the show. And I told you I was offended only because you leaped to a conclusion based on what you read out in the Twitter sphere or blogosphere.
Right.
And this all began, as you now know, with a tweet of mine of, 3-4 weeks ago that was 100% accurate, but thanks to the 140 character limit, was about 5% of the real story, which, again, you and I shared yesterday. You shared some stories with me that were similar on your much higher level. And I only talk about this because now my integrity and credibility have been questioned by many of my Twitter followers. Did you exaggerate this? Nope. Did you lie about it? Absolutely not.
For those that may not have seen the tweets, I know it's tough, but what was your original tweet?
Okay, the original tweet began with, and again, this is 3 sentences and 140 characters. I thought twice about doing a second and third tweet to expand upon the topic because it's a much deeper story to me. It's my nightmare story.
Right.
It's in fact what propelled me to sit in this seat. The frustration that was caused to me in my high school career propelled me to become a member of the media and talk about basketball. And so it's the basis of why I'm here.
Okay.
But the original tweet began that in 9th grade, I was asked to go to a big basketball camp, area, statewide, that was run by the Iba family of Henry Iba fame at Oklahoma State, the mentor to Bobby Knight.
Legendary coach.
Legendary. I won MVP of that camp. Many kids who went on to play at high levels in Division I. And I thought I was Pistol Pete Maravich, as you said. I was probably more, what'd you call it, Water Pistol Pete? I probably exaggerated in my head just how good I was. But I thought I was pretty good.
I think at some point or another, we're all guilty of that.
We're all guilty. So then I go to play for a legendary coach in high school.
At a big program.
At the biggest school in the state, Northwest Classen High School in Oklahoma City. And he hated my game. He didn't like me. I was a 3-point shooter and a gunner before there was even a 3-point line. He wanted me to be a point guard, and I felt like I didn't have the aptitude nor the desire to distribute the basketball. I didn't get it. I don't have the gift that you had. You could definitely run the point. You could score too, but you had the feel for the game, the vision to anticipate when a player's coming up. I had zero of that. So I went through a nightmarish sophomore year in which we won the state championship. I went through a nightmarish junior year in which the coach forced me, as you pointed out yesterday, to play, we called it B squad. Forced me to play B squad to learn to be the point guard, then suit up and play the varsity game at night.
Right.
I went into my senior year thinking, finally, I got my shot. I'm going to be the guy coming up next year. And what happens the first day of school? I look up, and my legendary coach has transferred in his son from Southeast High School on the South Side to play for him.
Wow.
And I did start for that team, but not for long, because the coach's son was soon the guy. I played a lot that year, but I lived in fear of even taking a shot in a game. When you hit me with the stat, I looked it up last night, I think it was 1.8. I was shocked it was that high because I can barely remember taking shots in games. All I did was do what Henry Iba wanted. You feed the post. I fed our postmen who went to Kansas State on scholarship and University of Houston on scholarship, and they were really good players. But I would start to shoot and hesitate. I was scared to death. So by 2/3 through the season, I got in his doghouse again. I clashed, I rebelled, end of bench. That was the end of my career. That's exactly what happened to me, and it killed me. It was the worst experience of my sports life.
Do you know how many players, high school, college, and pro, can have that story? So imagine how they feel when you're on national TV for 4 hours a day and you're talking about the plight of their life on a national forum, but they don't have a chance to tell their story.
Yep.
And also what has happened in
Okay, well, you had a similar occurrence.
Right, but also what has happened in media is the line has been blurred between a reporter and an analyst. Now reporters are analysts. An analyst normally is somebody that has experience,
Well,
that
though,
has done something.
let's clarify something. Skip was a columnist.
And a reporter.
Yeah, I mean, you started as a reporter,
Oh.
right? I mean, it's not as though you don't know the beats of being a reporter, but technically, when you go from being beat reporter to columnist, you're now not writing so much about the unfolding of the game. Now he is being paid to analyze the game and to opine and to write the way he sees the game. So it's not as if...
So, wait a second. Are you suggesting that you have to have played at a high level to...
No, not at all. If that was the case, then a lot of women wouldn't be able to report in sports because they don't have certain pro sports for women.
Sure.
So that's out. But what I am saying is, this is why I got into it. Mass communications was my major in college. This will be my 10th year covering the NBA Finals. Done NFL, done boxing. I've never been in a 15-round fight.
Right.
So I get that.
Mhm.
But what happens is, there's a difference between reporting what you say, reporting what you see, and name calling. Like when you name call, that makes it personal. Bosh Spice, Queen James.
Now, time out. No.
Now that crossed the line.
I don't do Queen James. I've never done Queen James.
It's Prince James.
Prince James.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, but I invited anybody, including you, to come sit there.
But
Let's talk this out.
but them-
Did Chris Bosh come and sit there?
But
Did he?
them,
Yes.
But
Yes.
you gotta take their side of it. Them coming to sit here really validates you. It really validates your show because you talk negative about me. I've seen countless athletes, and I talked to Charles Oakley about this. I've seen countless athletes come on this show after their teammate or their good friend got ripped. And that's how people see it from the outside looking in. Oh, he doesn't like Michael Vick, so he's going to pump up LaShawn McCoy. Oh, he doesn't like LeBron James, so now it's all about Dwayne Wade. Oh, he loves Kevin Durant,
Jalen.
so now we're going to get all on.
Let's bring in Stephen A. Stephen A, go ahead.